Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're one of our subscribers, welcome back. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you like what you see, maybe take a moment to subscribe. It really helps to support the channel. And we've got lots more travels coming over the next 12 months. Currently, I'm on day 5 on the Iona P&O Cruise to the Sun down to the Canary Islands from the UK, Southampton, and back again. We're due to be on here for 14 nights, and as customary, if you've been watching the channel over the last 12 months, you know I tend to do a review after about 4 or 5 days and then a full review at the end of the cruise. So let's give you a bit of a status update on where we are generally with the ship, because it's been an interesting and rocky ride down so far. In fact, the weather has been quite bad, and we were hit by a pretty bad storm off the coast of Spain near La Coruna. In fact, it meant that we actually missed the La Coruna port and had to keep on running, so to speak, down the coast of Spain and Portugal to get away from the storm, which was following us, I believe. So we didn't stop in La Coruna. So actually, as I speak, we have been at sea for 5 whole days. This is our 5th day at sea, which is driving a few people a little stir crazy who weren't expecting that. And for us, it's a bit like doing a transatlantic again, where you do have 5 or 6 sea days. So we've done it before, weren't expecting it this time, so that's been interesting. And as we continue down the coast now, we are hoping to dock at Gran Canaria tomorrow. So the weather's not been great. We've been stuck on the ship quite a while, and in fact for the last couple of days until really this morning and late yesterday, the captain locked us off the open decks for about a day and a half. So we've been inside as well. So that is, I guess, one negative of the cruise. But that said, there's been lots going on. So let's start with the food and what I think of that so far. There's 4 main dining rooms on the Iona, the Opal, the Aqua, the Coral and the Pearl, and we've actually managed to try them all in the last few days that we've been on the ship, and in general the food's been very good. I couldn't fault it. The food's good in the main dining rooms. Service has been good, it's been friendly and efficient, and I've enjoyed that. Very quick, so there hasn't been, and because you're moving dining rooms a lot, because most people are on a version of Freedom Dining, then you don't really get a chance to engage with the waiting staff as much as you do on a set sitting, if you're having the same sitting with the same wait team every evening. But it's been good, so enjoyed that. There's also 2 buffets on the Iona. One is at the top of the ship, which is a Horizon buffet, and that has been actually P&O back to its best for me. There's been all our old favourites on there. It's been a good choice. It is busy because obviously there were sea days, so it's been pretty busy up there, but generally we've been able to find seating. Gets breakfast after about 9 a.m. It gets a lot harder to find seats, particularly as people have been inside rather than out due to the weather and the lockdown conditions. But it's been good, so I've enjoyed that. And down below they have the Keys, which is a more limited buffet, but it can be a bit quieter and a bit more chilled down there. And they've got a kind of Asian fusion counter where they do a very nice katsu chicken. They've got the more traditional kind of grill food there, the burgers, etc. And they've got a rather nice chippy called the Hook, Line and Sinker. So I had fish chips and mushy peas and curry there yesterday. Can definitely recommend that. So a great choice. Unfortunately, they do have the Taste 360 that they had on the, have also on the ARVIA, and I've got to admit, I'm still not a fan. It's this kind of grab and go approach where the food is already there, the burgers, hot dogs, pizza. In my opinion, it's not the best. However, the other stuff has been really good, and of course there's the additional dining options as well. So we've got Sindhu, which is a kind of Indian themed restaurant. There's the Keel and Cow, there's the Olive Grove, there's the well-established Epicurean, which is most well known for its afternoon tea. So there's quite a few additional dining options for you there, and also the ice cream parlours as well, which we've tried the ice cream parlour, and my daughter and I booked into Sindhu, so I'll let you know about that at the end of the cruise, how that goes. And we've got the Olive Grove tonight. So overall, the food has been good. I couldn't really fault it too much. It's not sensational, but it is good, and it's really good value for what we paid for our cruise as well, which you always do need to take into account. In terms of entertainment, again, this has been pretty good. There's a lot going on around the ship. So with sea days, that's pretty hard to keep everybody entertained. We enjoy the main theatre, so we've enjoyed watching the headliners. We watched their festival last night. Yes, if you cruise regularly with P&O, these shows have been repeated for some time now, which is a bit of a bugbear to some, but of course if it's a new cruise for you, you won't know any of that, and the headliner shows, you know, are very good. And we've been very fortunate indeed to have a band called Iris, a lady band, 3 ladies, one who's performed in a couple of big West End shows, and the other 2 I think have performed around the world as well, and they've been absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. My longer review at the end, I've got a clip of them which I'll show you, but Iris, I hope they're staying on for a few more days. We've seen them twice so far and enjoyed it very, very much. It's kind of a folk and country twist on some well-established songs. We really enjoyed the movie-themed show they did in the clubhouse the other night. There's also a lot going on in the Sky Dome in the evening. Acoustics in there can be a little bit funny, but they've had the house band Pulse that perform in there most nights. So they did a rock, kind of rock music, kind of Queen type thing. They've done a bit of Britpop up there, and my teenagers have actually really enjoyed it up there. There's other entertainment going on in the clubhouse. They've had comedians too. We had Ben Moss, who's reminds me a bit like the Rag and Bone Man. Quite a lot going on the ship. And then there's the trivia, lots of quizzes. We watched the football in Brodie's last night, and that was enjoyable. So you can watch the sport too. No need to miss any of the England matches or Wales matches. I mean, we've got a Wales match on tonight. Any of the international teams, and also the Premier League as well. Quite a few of those games, and they actually do show them into your cabin on your TV on a couple of sports channels too. There's shuffleboard competitions, there's mini golf, there's obviously the swimming pools, there's a cinema, 4-screen cinema, and they've also shown 2 big screen cinema events in Wicked the Musical and Moana 2 in the headliners theatre, with us having the kind of extra sea day in particular, trying to keep people entertained. So the cinema's really good. There's vending machines where you can get snacks, sweets as well, and actually it's a little bit cheaper than the shop in the vending machines, because that brings me to the shopping. There's a fantastic sweet shop with a Candy King if the unlimited food on the ship is not enough for you. I must admit, we have had a Candy King. We filled a couple of pots of sweets in there for the cinema when we've been, and some of the entertainment in the evenings. There's quite a few shops you can go into. Of course, the shops are only open on sea days. They're not open when we're in port. Most of the ports don't allow the ships to have the shops open on those days. So if you're new to cruising in particular, just remember that those shops are only going to be open when you're actually sailing at sea. But if you're into handbags, perfume, jewellery, art, bits and bobs as well, you know, they've got all of these kind of things there for you, so you can do a bit of shopping too. There's also bingo, of course. There's a lot of bingo on the ship. There's deal or no deal today, so there's a lot of entertainment going on the ship. It's our 5th day, and we've enjoyed it. We haven't been bored for sure. We've very much enjoyed being on the ship so far, and that kind of brings me to the service. The service in general has been good. We've found the staff friendly and efficient. It's always an interesting one when gratuities are included, because you do wonder whether the staff are going to go that little bit extra for you. It's I think a challenge for some of the cruise ships. But remember, gratuities are included on the P&O Cruise, so you don't have to pay anything extra, which again kind of brings you back to that value proposition when you're judging this ship as to what you're actually paying in your entirety for your cruise. But the staff have been friendly and efficient. We've got a good cabin steward. Hardly notice him. He just does his job really, really well. The waiting staff have been friendly and efficient. Generally, they've been helpful around the ship. So yeah, can't fault the staff at all. Technology, they've got the Starlink system on the ship, so if you need your Wi-Fi, so I do a lot of editing, and the family love the Wi-Fi as well, so we do tend to use it. It's a really good system. Now they have the Starlink system, which is the Elon Musk satellite-based system, so it's fast, it's efficient. I watched a TV program on there yesterday, catching up on a bit of Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime, and that worked absolutely fine. It is quite pricey though, so if you want it for one device for the whole cruise, that's going to cost you, we'll work out about £20 a day, so that's £240 for the cruise. If you want it just for one day, it's going to cost you £30 for one device, or £60 for 4 devices. What you can do is bear in mind there were supposed to be 7 port visits on this cruise, and there'll be 6 now. When you're in port, of course, there is often Wi-Fi available, and many of us can use our data packages there as well. So that's quite useful to know. So if you can go and bear it on those sea days without it, you should be able to get it when you're in port. Now, I'm really looking forward to getting to Gran Canaria tomorrow, actually getting off the ship and going somewhere, because that's one of the reasons I love cruising so much, is seeing a bit of the world. Snapshots all over the world we get, which is fantastic. Now, I'm going to turn you around and give you a quick view of our cabin. So our last couple of cruises, we've had balcony cruises. We would always choose really to have a balcony cruise, but this particular one, we've got an inside cabin. It was a great deal, and it's actually let's see if we can give you a look around. It's actually a square cabin, and there's 4 of us in it. It's quite small. We've got a double, we've got a queen bed over here. Yeah. And then we've got a big TV on the wall here. There are quite a few plugs everywhere, so we've had no problems with that. And then here, if you can just about see, we've got a sofa bed, this sofa becomes a bed, and then above it, there's a Pullman bed which pulls out, so this becomes bunk beds in the evening, and our cabin steward puts that up at about 6:30 for us every day. So it's useful sitting area in what is effectively a pretty small cabin. You put it around there. I'm only showing you this because the cabin steward's just been in and cleaned it up. And just a quick whiz the bathroom. It's a fairly, and I've got a shower, mirror, etc. in there. So that's our cabin. Now, just a couple of things before I go. One is, if you are coming on the Iona or P&O Cruise, just remember to book all of your entertainment, and if you want any specialty restaurants before you come. Normally that opens between 2 and 3 weeks before your cruise, so make sure you do that. And also, the bumpy weather reminds me that if that affects you, then perhaps check out a midship room. The lower the better in terms of your stability. We've got a midship room, and that's been pretty good for us. Being in the bumpy conditions, haven't really noticed it too much in the room at all. But when there were a previous cruise just before Christmas, I think we were on the Disney Dream, we were towards the end of the ship up high, and we certainly noticed it in the Bay of Biscay. In fact, it was probably the most ropey I've felt at sea. Yeah, so just something that's worth thinking about. Now, we're getting ready for 5 port days in a row, so I'm going to be covering some of those on the channel. So if you're interested in the Canary Islands, then maybe put the bell notification or subscribe to the channel if you're not, and you'll be able to get that, and also the full review and tour at the end of this cruise. And also we're heading straight off onto ARVIA after a couple of weeks back at home, so I'm going to be comparing those two, and also comparing them with the MSC that we've just been on as well. So if you're interested in all of that, then take a moment to subscribe, and then you won't miss it all. But yeah, in summary, it's been pretty good so far. So yeah, we're really enjoying the cruise. It's been good value for what we've got. The atmosphere on the ship is pretty good. It's busy. There's a lot of people on the ship. Oh yeah, and if you're claustrophobic and it bothers you in the lifts, then be aware before you book this cruise, they are small lifts and they are full all of the time, to absolutely packed. You just have to laugh and smile about it. But if that does bother you, it is worth thinking about. And I haven't seen a glass elevator yet, so I'll go looking, see if I can find one. I am one of those claustrophobes, but with my knees, I kind of have to use the lift, so I just get in and grin and bear it. But if it bothers you, something worth thinking about. So anyway, I'm off to enjoy some sunshine now, because the sun has finally come out on day 5, and the first officer has just assured us that it's going to get better and better. So I can't wait for that, guys. Anyway, great talking to you. And I'll talk to you soon. I've got some shorts coming out on the channel over the next week. The shorts on our TikTok channel. You can join us on the Facebook community as well. If you just want to have a chat, if you've got any questions you want to ask, engage in some conversation around our travels, I love to do that. So thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.